Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
See, I just gave her a shock. I've never done that. I've never, ever sung on live radio. I had to try it. I want to listen to it on playback. Okay, no, I'm just joking. Morning, everyone. You have tuned into the WITEE Chatterbots show, Women in Tech, empowering everyone. We are coming to you live from the Bohemian city of Johannesburg. I'm Carmen Murray, lover of tech, and my partner in crime, Jessica McIndoe, a social media fundi. Now, we are all about good vibrations. We want to uplift each other, support one another, inspire you, keep you on fleek with all the amazing tech, innovations and trends, and also problem solving and opportunities that exist that you might not be aware of, or to unpack those exciting new things. We really want to hear from you guys today. This is the reason why we do have a giveaway prize for the most engaged tweet. So start tweeting on hashtag WITEE, which is WITEE. Now, our topic of conversation today is, drumroll, cut the crap. I almost gave the producer like a heart attack. He's just like looking at me like, oh my God, you're not allowed to swear. We're not going to swear. We promise. Okay. So we are honored to have the adventurous, passionate author and businesswoman, Lisa Steingold, in the studio today. Let me give you some background on Lisa. So she's author of 6 books. Her latest book, Cut the Crap. She is a prominent businesswoman and heads up marketing for Papaya Media, one of SA's leading Facebook partners, communication consultant and coach, and the ultimate connector. And I have to vouch for that because almost everybody that I've seen when I told them Lisa's coming onto the show, they're like, oh, Lisa, we love Lisa. Lisa is so amazing. So everybody knows you. You're like a celebrity in the industry. So we just thought it might be the best idea to bring you on the show. Now I'm just jesting with you. Okay, so I know the audience will learn a lot from you. So welcome, Lisa. How are you?
Thank you for that very big introduction. No pressure.
There's no pressure whatsoever. Listen, she's like a sport fundi, guys. I'm like, sport is not my thing, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be like that. But hopefully maybe she can give us some lessons on that on another show. What do you think, huh?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm going to give us some lessons every time.
So Jess is dying to ask you some questions. So I'm going to hand it over to my partner in crime. Go for it, Jess.
Awesome. So thanks very much for joining us. Lovely to have you on the show. I think maybe just to start, maybe you can just kind of share your story. So what is Lisa's story, and tell us about your journey. Like, how did you end up here in the room with us?
Wow. Okay, I'll try to take 38 years and cut it down to a couple minutes. I think I'll focus on pivotal aspects of the journey. I don't really believe you can separate professional from personal. So branding and marketing is part of who I am. I kind of fell into it a bit by mistake. I actually studied sports management. Prior to that, actually, I started out studying accounting. And
Oh, no.
can you imagine?
As well.
No disrespect to anybody that's an accountant out there.
I dropped out of that and spent 6 months in the Far East in South America, which was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was kind of where I got streetwise and started my big girl panties ride, as you do alone in South America or India. And yeah, I came back, I did a BCom sports management honors, and I ran a shopping business at WITEE doing shopping for execs, which I absolutely loved. And I also did sports massage for a cycling group.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of what got me started in cycling. And yeah, one of my clients from shopping offered me a job as a marketing assistant. So I'd never really planned to get into marketing. It just kind of happened by mistake. And yeah, it went from there. I think key moments that have shaped my journey. I think my divorce made me a real person, to be honest. Prior to that, I was a bit of a, what's the word? ambitious, stuck-up cow, I think. Really.
Love it.
Yeah, that brought me seriously down to earth, and started the journey of real, which is kind of very much what I'm about. Like, let's say things as they are. So it was my divorce in 2010. I started an NGO that went belly up. And in those 3 weeks of my life, those were the biggest 3 weeks of my life. I had a car accident.
Sure.
We lost sponsors for the NGO, and I got arrested for speeding. I do really like fast cars, fast motorbikes, and fast men.
Okay, ask no questions here, no lies. Like, really? Fast men, what does that mean?
Preferably than a man on a fast motorbike or in a fast car.
Okay.
So those 3 weeks were big, and I had to move out my house and rebond my... I was consulting at that point in time, and I had to rebond my place, move out. So another big kind of wake-up call and what's happening moment for me. And in 2011, I was sick for a year. And I couldn't work.
Wow.
And that was another. So there's been these key parts that have really shaped my thinking, actually, which has been a blessing in disguise. Of course, when you're going through it, you're like, why me?
Yeah, indeed.
But actually, when you look back, that's kind of what shapes you. And that's alongside that. So I was working marketing. I quit my job before the NGO. I quit my job. And I cycled around Southeast Asia for 2 months on my mountain bike, which was amazing.
Tell us more about that.
That was incredible,
Oh my
really. Vietnam and Laos.
Yeah.
And the people were so friendly. And on that trip, I met a crazy Chinese guy who was cycling from China to Vietnam for his mother. And he literally had everything, including the kitchen sink, on his bicycle.
Sure.
I remember his name was Wu. I met this German guy, so it sounds like a joke, but the German, the Jew, and the Chinese person all cycled together.
Oh my goodness.
And we used to ride up the mountains and go, woo!
Oh my gosh. It reminds me of Eat, Pray, Love, the movie.
Yeah.
Ketut. Yeah, remember Ketut?
Same kind of vibe. Yeah, so that was prior to the NGO. And I was consulting in communications. And since then, I've always worked with marketing and brands. And I've got a real passion for shaping a brand and bringing it to life and making it real in the world.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If I might just add to that, I think that's quite an aha moment for me listening to you. It's like almost like how your journey has manifested in your career, and how from hard times you've actually learned to embrace that and to go into like a business that's all about problem solving and managing perceptions. So I think that every journey, and just to add for our audience, I think that every journey has a lesson to be taught or to learn, and we as people need to look for those lessons and really go into depth about them. And I think it's quite a remarkable thing.
No,
100%.
Agreed. So it sounds like you've really found your niche, though. You've taken this journey and just found your space in the world.
I don't know about that. I think I still have this one day when I'm big, but I did realize the other day that I'm almost 40. So, but I do feel like I actually studied psychology along the way. And I feel that from a career perspective, I have found my niche. I describe myself as a behaviorist, which I think as a marketer is perfect, because if you're not about people and 100%. Shaping behavior, then really, for me anyway, that's been my niche, and that's been kind of uncovering that's been really key.
Oh, awesome. And back onto travel. So Carmen was sharing little secrets with me about all your where you've been. Maybe you can just share with us a little bit about your journey around Africa and those learnings and what made you decide to do that.
There's been 2 key trips around Africa. One is when I came back from the Far East, I set off to climb Mount Kenya with a bunch of mates, and we went up on public transport, which I don't think I will ever do again.
Oh my gosh.
If I didn't have character before that, I certainly had a whole bunch after that. So yeah, we literally set out first on buses to Malawi, and then it was kind of taxis, local transport, even dhows in up to Kenya. And then we spent the Y2K New Year literally camped on an island where we bought a chicken from the chief, and we killed the chicken. I kind of felt like I was starring in Lord of the Flies.
Oh my God. The chicken run.
Yeah.
Who's doing that today?
So that was a real eye-opener, as well as an earlier trip this year with Papa Media to Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Which was also an eye-opener, and just even how brands are there, and kind of how
So
luxury
different, eh?
brands are so prominent there.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny Walker, Rolex,
Yes.
Samsung.
I mean, Nigeria's bling town.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it really opened my eyes even to the psychology
Yes.
behind a nation and
Correct.
how they interact with brands.
Yeah.
I think what Africa's shown me, incidentally, I am, I don't know for how long, but I am going to be moving to Europe next year. But what I love about having grown up in Africa is that Africa teaches you resilience and an entrepreneurial nature that I don't necessarily think our European counterparts have.
Right.
So I think that's what I've really taken from the African experience.
Wow. So just, I'm really dying to know this. Like, how did you become an author? Like, what made you decide to sit down and start with a book?
I don't know that I am an author.
Well, if you've written 6 books, in my view, you are. I can't even write a paragraph without thinking over it for 4 hours.
Yeah, I go back to that one day when I'm big, I'm going to be an author. So I'm just practicing at the moment. But I think the hard times made me sit down and write. And within myself, I literally felt that I had nowhere else to go but to sit down and start writing. In a weird, it sounds so strange, but in a weird way, it was kind of like an illness. I had to sit down, and in order to get better, I had to write the book. That was the pill to swallow. Wow. And there was no choice for me. It wasn't like, oh, I need to make time for this, or I really want to do it. I can honestly say I didn't really ever want to write books.
Yeah.
It just, I sat down and I was like, right, this needs to be said, or this has to happen.
Crazy.
Like it's almost like the psychologist part of you, like telling yourself you need to write a book and to get your thoughts out on paper. I think it's awesome. I had the privilege to read the book Cut the Crap, and I'm very passionate about brand purpose. I actually recently did a 90-minute masterclass across South Africa to corporates and agencies, specifically addressing the fact that brands need to step it up. Have a sense of purpose, make a difference in consumers' lives, and be authentic. And this is why I really enjoyed your book, because it really inspired me. I found Cut the Crap thought-provoking, insightful, inspiring, and a very fresh approach to controversial, trending topics. So let's talk about your recent book. Why the title?
I am not really known for my tact.
I don't think any of us are. That's what gets us into trouble, but also sometimes not. Not arrested, though.
It literally popped into my head, and I was like,
Love it.
I was so tired of all the bullshit.
Yes.
So tired. And I was like, cool, let's just cut the crap and say it like it is. So that's,
Love it.
there's no romantic story behind that. I just was done. I was done with South African politics. I was done with our leaders. done with certain brands, and I was like, well, someone's got to call this now. It's time out. It's,
Oh, no, for sure.
right.
And we sometimes feel like we have to be, we have to be so politically correct. And, sometimes when we don't agree with something, we still pursue these relationships with these clients, when
Yes.
some things are not right. It's all about being authentic and who you represent as a company, but also in your own belief system. But we had a very interesting conversation the other day about brands being authentic. What is the disconnects you encounter as a consumer, but also as a marketing expert with brands and authenticity?
I think the disconnect sometimes stems from brands trying to be everything to everybody, as well as sometimes brands I don't know if it's a case of them not knowing what they stand for, or being unashamedly
Ignorant?
communicative in that. So
I love
learn
that.
to kind of, this is who we are. We don't care. This is how we are. If you want to love us, these are our values. And then, that's kind of how we will engage,
Yes.
as opposed to that PC kind of approach.
Correct. Yeah, because, the one thing is you always need to think of the people that's beyond your brand and who's
Right.
consuming your brand and who's engaging with it. Because, I think what you mentioned the other day, if you say you're going to be this particular brand and you stand for that thing, whichever it is, do that and have the boldness, but don't try and camouflage and be like a chameleon in the industry, just to try and make people feel happy and good and emotional when you don't really mean it.
Yes, and also brands who don't connect their core strategy to what they're trying to, any kind of marketing activities they're trying to do, even on a CSI level.
Yeah.
As a marketer, I think marketers need to seriously look at their brands and go, okay, cool, these are our values. Well, then that CSI project doesn't work for us. We can't go paint a house because that's not what we're about.
Yeah.
Let's do something different.
Yeah.
It's got to ring true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a very quick break. We're going to get back shortly. Guys, start tweeting if you want to get a copy of this book. #WITEE. Thank you very much, guys. Come back.
brandlive.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat. brandlive.co.za.
Awesome. Welcome back, guys. I've just been told by the radio station to make an announcement just on the construction outside. Apologies, we can't chase the guys down from 27 Boxes. So just that you know what's going on outside. But we are sitting here with Lisa and we're finding out about her Cut the Crap book and all her amazing experiences.
Oh, I wish this was like a long show, a whole day show.
So I think really, Lisa, if we're looking at really the time where there's a lot of social instability and turbulence, really on the political front, there's tightening of budgets from a brand point of view, changing behaviors. How do you foresee authentic brands outperforming disconnected brands?
Possibly, if you look at our political environment, a lot of people might disagree with me, and some people have told me I'm a bit idealistic, which is fine, but I think the long game is going to prove me true. So if you look at brands such as Jacob Zuma versus Herman Mashaba, as there are brands, I reckon the long game will not stand for brands that are not authentic and don't deliver. Even if everyone has referred to this, the economic crisis of 2008, brands such as Morgan Stanley and Merrill Lynch and all the massive brands that were involved in that. Very recently, KPMG is a prime example. If I would hate to think of all the money that went into building the KPMG brand in South Africa, and for it to be taken apart so quickly just shows you it doesn't matter how big you are or how powerful you think
100%.
you are. Crap is literally not going to fly anymore.
Yeah. It's social activists, like, people have had
100%.
enough.
Yes.
And, I'm afraid for brands that are ignorant to that and still think that they in today's time and age can, deceive people. And to say, okay, right, well, this is how we're going to do it, and this is what we do. We're just going to give you fancy advertising. But we're not getting to the core of why we're really doing what we're doing.
Exactly. And it's about delivering on promises as well.
No, for sure. There was another thing that I really enjoyed in your book where you talk about the lifetime value formula. Please, can you take our audience through it?
I can.
Briefly, if you can.
Yes, I can. Right. The formula for success is... I'm going to put it in dating terms.
Okay. Love it.
Dating only leads to marriage where there's trust in a relationship.
Yes.
And marriage is only sustainable through that trust and valuable relationships. In terms of lifetime customer value, it's nothing really new. I didn't invent this formula, but basically... the average lifetime value of a brand is determined, or the average lifetime customer value is determined by the cost of a sale times the number of transactions over the life period. Now, that's a very mathematical formula, and marketers use that quite scientifically to prove how much a customer is worth. What people don't talk about is the added value of that. So what about... a consumer or a brand fan who's absolutely obsessed with your brand and how much they talk about it. I'm on a WhatsApp cycling group, a number actually, and every day people go, guys, what brand should I buy? Or what do you think about this product? And people give their honest opinion. So that is the lifetime customer value that cannot be quantified, but that is absolutely crucial to sustainability.
I have to jump in here. I'm very sorry.
We are Chatterbots.
So when Carmen and I first met and Twitter was the new thing, I remember specifically because Carmen buys shoes, expensive shoes, because she looks good in them. And she asked on Twitter, she was going to go buy these shoes, and I use it in my training. And somebody tweeted her and said, do not go to that shop. They are terrible. And she went and bought shoes somewhere else. Like, they lost her. Like, they could have had a person for life, but she left.
Totally. No, totally. But, it's a topic that I can go on and on and on about. I'm biting my fingers. I just don't want to get myself in trouble. No, I'm joking. I am being authentic. Listen, Lisa, I mean, like, the foundation of all crap, what is that?
Sure. The foundation...
I can go for one. Lies. We hate lies.
The foundation of all crap is honestly not knowing what you stand for.
Oh, yes.
And then proliferating that or having an agenda. I mean, not that we all have an agenda, but it's just about being transparent with your agenda, and that stems from your values quite simply.
Yeah.
Well, now we are getting almost to the 30-second game. So I want to ask that you please let our audience know what's next for Lisa.
I'm trying to get my motorbike license.
Oh my goodness. This girl, I'm telling you.
Apart from that, Europe, more books, hopefully a novel at some point.
Exciting.
And a lot more work on brands.
Oh, fantastic. And now tell me, where can people buy your book? I think this is important because I think there's a lot of people. We actually have some tweets where people are asking, I want the book. So where can they get it?
On a small scale, at the moment, it's available e-commerce on my website, lisasteingold.com.
Okay.
Otherwise, from the 15th of October, it will be available on Amazon.
Yay. Clever girl. You're-
and for SA shoppers on Loot.
Okay, fantastic. And if people want to get in touch with you and maybe pick your brain on some of the topics or just have a coffee with you, how can I get hold of you?
Tweet at Lisa Steingold. Otherwise, lisasteingold.com is my website, and there's a contact form.
Fantastic. Now, Jessica loves this part of the game.
Oh dear.
We have the 1 minute game and we are about to start. We hope you guys are tweeting so we can announce the winner after this. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Are you ready, Lisa?
I'm ready.
Okay. Right. If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first?
She would eat a box of Smarties because she loves chocolate. And then she would say, don't worry so much. Wow. Don't stress. Don't sweat the small stuff. And she would say, yeah, I love the motorbike.
Oh, no, awesome. What would you do if you could be invisible for a day?
Wow. I would. Wow, that's insane. I would go to Jacob Zuma's house.
Okay. What would you say is something that's really popular now, but in 5 years everyone will look back and be embarrassed by?
Snapchat. I'm sorry, those pictures are ridiculous.
Okay. What are some of the nicknames that you have for customers or your co-workers?
Oh. I don't know. Everyone's got lots of nicknames for me.
How many? 4. I think Liz broke the record. We managed to get 7 out.
Wow.
Yeah. Good answer though. Love it.
I like the side swipe at the end that everyone has a nickname for me.
Thank goodness you couldn't get to our nicknames. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
Listen, guys, we've had an awesome time. Lisa, you are truly an inspiration to us. Like, we are going to have you back. So that we can unpack the art of problem solving. I think that this is really something that we need to talk about, and I would love to pick your brain on how our brands, and also that we can brainstorm live on air and unpack how we can solve some of the problems out there. But from us at the WITEE Chatterbots show, Carmen Murray
And Jessica McIndoe.
Join us next week, Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Now, listen, we have such exciting news to share with you. We're going to have Gibbs, Fazlin Tufi. We're going to have her here with us next week, and we are going to have a very big announcement to make from Gibbs. So gather all the entrepreneurs you know for next week's show. Very exciting stuff. We just want to say thank you very much for your support and love. Send out the good vibrations.
Awesome. And I think, like, just to close off the show, so drum roll again. Woo! For everyone that was supposed to tweet in to win the book. All right. The book this week goes to Candace Goodman. Okay. Because she said, I'd love to win the hashtag cut the crap book, hashtag WITEE, at Brand Live Radio, at Lisa, at Carmen, at Jess. So congratulations.
Woo! Congratulations, Candace.
Yes. And thanks so much, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
And we're out.
brandlive.co.za. Guess who got brands talking? brandlive.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za.